Welcome to Faith in 5, a weekly video devotional designed to discuss practical spiritual concepts in 5 minutes or less. I'm your host, Mark Vandella. In 10th grade, we read a book called The Scarlet Letter, and most people have heard of it. They even made a movie of it, but if you haven't, it's a story about a woman, actually two people who have an affair. Surprisingly, it takes two, right? But the book is really about the main character, the woman who had an affair, and they stitch a bright red A on her chest because she is an adulterer. And in 10th grade, as we read that book, it was so easy to see the problems with this. The fact that shaming somebody and ruining the rest of their life because they made a mistake wasn't the right thing to do. And it's easy to see that from outside of the story. And in this story, it's a small Puritan community where everything kind of stayed to themselves. But I'm starting to see similar habits, similar behaviors in our world today. When we see somebody that does something, we jump all over it. And we don't necessarily stitch something onto their clothing, but we tag them with the letter. We tag them with something that they can never overcome, a past, a mistake, or something that they're currently going through. And then the worst part is it doesn't stay within our little Puritan community. Now we have access to spread that as fast and as far as possible. And I think that our faith asks us to do something different with that information. Our faith asks us to step into it, to care for people, to instead of smell blood and attack the person who, there are some things that rightfully so, they're atrocities, they're terrible, the abuses that are going on and are coming out. Those people, yes. But what we do is we carry that forward and we bash their family or we spread it to their institutions and all of these things. And we would rather go that direction because it's easier. It's easier to spread hate and dirt and gross into this world versus going and helping the victims who often get lost in this. Or the family, or maybe, depending on the issue, the actual person who made the mistake. I don't know a single person who's ever woken up in the morning and said, you know what, today I'm going to blow up my life. I'm going to ruin everything. And yet it happens. It happens to our friends. It happens to our families. It happens in our own lives. We are not immune from big mistakes. Hopefully, we protect ourselves from things like abuse and oppression, but we are not immune from big mistakes. And our faith asks us to step into those spots with people to help protect them from blowing up their lives, but also that when or if something should happen, that our faith requires us to get our hands dirty, to go sit in the mud puddle with those people because they are humans. There's humanity there. In our series called What Would You Do? We're asking the question to put ourselves in their shoes. When you see a headline that's juicy and dripping with filth, instead of sharing it and posting it and slamming someone, put your name in that headline. And now maybe you'd say, I would never do that, so that's not me. Put your name in that headline and then think about their kids, their spouse, the people that they've impacted or the people in their lives. And again, with the caveat that there are some things that are so tragic, like we need the world to know about them. But still, pause long enough that you think about your faith when you share things like that. The Bible asks us to. It says in 1 Peter 5:8-11, it says this, it says, keep a cool head, stay alert. The devil is poised to pounce. That smell blood in the water and attack kind of thing is not something that our faith asks from us. That is something else that's gross inside of us. It goes on to say that the world would rather, the devil would like nothing better than to catch you napping. Catch you in that moment that is just so easy to click and share a meme, a story, whatever it is, before you know the whole story. Keep your guard up. You're not the only ones who are plagued by these hard times. It's the same with Christians all over the world, so keep a grip on your faith. I'm appealing to you to just hold tight to your faith at all times. And when you feel this anger burn inside of you, check in with your faith. This week, as you engage your faith, think about what would you do in a moment of shame, in a bad place of judgment. If somebody had dirt on you and was sharing it for you or your family, what would you do differently? And lean on your faith. Ask God for forgiveness in those tough places, but also ask God to help guide you in how you would engage that in a way that would point somebody and point the world towards Him, not away from Him.